What's good, y'all? Your boy Iron Angel with another movie review. Literally just came back from seeing Bad Boys for Life. Sorry, Bad Boys Ride or Die. Technically, this should be called Bad Boys for Life, but it is what it is. I heard that Will addressed that at some radio show or podcast or whatever. He was like, yeah, according to what was told, people say it was. He was like, yeah, we didn't think that was through. But, I mean, we know what it is. Bad Boys 4. Just came back, my wife and I, and I'm here to give y'all a review. You know how I do it. Like once a week, I like to try to give y'all, well, not try, do aim towards giving y'all a movie review. Last week, I didn't do it only because of the move. I was moving and all that. But now, for this movie, was it good? Let's get that out the way. Yes. All the Bad Boy movies were good. I'm going to give my rankings at the end of this video of what I think from the first one to the fourth one, which one's better. But yes, this is good. Actually, it's better than the last one. Bad Boys for Life and Bad Boys Ride or Die had the same kind of feel to it, but Bad Boys Ride or Die did what Bad Boys for Life needed to do, which was add more action. The situation was a little bit more intense. The comedy was better, in my opinion. And it really seemed like, I ain't gonna front, it seemed like the Martin movie. The last one seemed like it was aimed towards Will because of the whole thing with his son, the lady he was with at the time when he was younger and all that. And this one seemed more on Marcus. Now, who was Martin, by the way. Now, did it shy away from Will? No, but when you end the movie, when you finish it, even when you get halfway through it, I was saying it halfway through the movie in my head, I was like, this seems like a Martin movie. Like they was writing the script for him and Mike was there, you know. And it was done right. It was done right. I don't think there was no moment where I was cringing like, now did every joke land where I was cracking up? No. But the thing about it for me is jokes don't have to make you crack up. As long as it don't make you go like, oh, that didn't feel right. As long as it don't do that, you're good. I'm not the one to believe that every joke should be having you, cracking up and, slapping your leg. It wasn't like that, but it was humorous and it worked. And was the script out of this world? No. Honestly, to be real, the story was very predictable. For the most part, it was predictable. But honestly, let's just be real. Are we here to watch Bad Boys for some crazy storyline with the mysterious ending? Is like, oh my god, no, we're there for the action. We're there for Martin and Will. We're there for everybody else around. We're there for the action, like I just said. And speaking of action, I love the direction they went with this one. You can tell Michael Bay didn't direct this, but you could feel his influence in the movie. And I like that. And they added a little bit extra to it. Without spoiling anything, they had an action scene where they made a situation look like it was in first person. I don't know if y'all seen that movie called Doom. It had The Rock in it. I don't know if for those who've seen it, you remember that scene where they would the guy was shooting like the aliens or something. I forgot who he was shooting at, and it was in first person as if he was playing Call of Duty or something. Bad Boys had a moment like that. It was a moment, but it was really good, and you could tell the directors and producers was influenced by Michael Bay, which I like because Michael Bay made Bad Boys helped make Bad Boys as great as it is, and so I like that they gave him a salute and was influenced because I don't know. Well, I know people always complain about Michael Bay's, like, all the explosions and stuff. I like that. I loved his directing and how he does the camera work with the circling around and all that. You get that. And, how they go it seems like it's a camera on the ground sometimes, like a camera on top, something that's circling around. I love it all. The direction of Michael Bay is amazing. And shout out to these directors for not copying him wholeheartedly, but having an influence of him. I really appreciate that. And I must give a shout out too of the time of the movie. What I mean by that is the length of it. It didn't feel too short. It didn't feel too long. It was just right. It wasn't a moment in the movie where it was like, even with the side quests that you have in this movie, it didn't feel like it was unnecessary. Like, oh, you could just cut off 15 minutes and we're good. No, I think, in my opinion, it was just right. Just right. And let me give a shout out to the cast. I don't want to say who was playing who, but there were certain cast members, some who were new and some who came from the last movie, who I believe did a good job. They did a very, very good job. The best part for me, especially because you can have this in a movie that has comedy in it, is a lot of cringy situations, people trying to be funny and it never lands. I was so grateful I didn't have that moment. But I will also say There is a moment in this movie that had me and my wife was like, I'm not one to be loud in movies. That's not my thing. But I was cheering like on the inside, and I'm like, okay. There was a moment for a certain individual, and it's probably not who you think it is, but they gave this person a spotlight for about 2 minutes, and it was probably the best 2 minutes of the movie. Thinking about it, it probably was the best scene in the movie. It was probably, I don't want to spoil anything, but there was, no, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but they gave this individual a scene for 2 minutes, and that had to have been the best scene of the movie. So above all, Bad Boys, really good. Great runtime, great action. The comedy was good. The humor was good. The chemistry of Will and Martin is still there. It's still amazing. Even the family. And shout out to, I can't remember her name, but the woman who played Teresa in the other three movies. She wasn't in this one. It was somebody else. I heard it was because of health reasons. And, prayers to you. I hope the best for you. You did feel her not being here. It's just because if you attach to Bad Boys like I am, like I grew up with Bad Boys 1, 2, and then 3, and you see the same actors playing the same characters, you could tell the difference when they're switched. And they had to, like I said, for health reasons, from what I'm hearing. So shout out to her. Hope the best for her. Hope she feels good. And I hope they gave her something of a gift. Because I know it probably felt weird for them to not have the same actress who played Teresa. But the one who played her, I think her name was Tasha Smith. She did good. She did good. It wasn't like she was bad, and I'm like, man, get her off the screen. I don't want to see. No, I'm not like that anyway. But no, she did good, but you still felt like a little, it was weird. It was like, oh wow, you used to hear Marcus, from his wife, and it's from that certain person. But prayers to her. I hope she feels good. But this was definitely a good watch. To be real, I will watch it again in theaters. I'll watch it again. But this is something, if you're looking for a good time, good humor, great action. I thought the action was good. The villain was good. I believe the villain was good. Probably. Yeah, I was about to say, when I say it's the best one, I wouldn't say that, but it fit the movie well. It worked. It worked very well, and so shout out to the actor who played the villain. I'm trying not to spoil him. I'm doing my best here, but everything worked well in my opinion. I don't think there was one thing, no, that I see wrong, and it's only because I go into this movie knowing what it is. When you know what Bad Boys is, you here for good action, humor, some comedy, the chemistry. You're going to get that. If you're there, if you know what Bad Boys is and you expected something different, no, it ain't going to be nothing different. But it still worked. And honestly, a movie like this, I don't want it to be different. Yes, the plot is different, but I'm talking about with the chemistry and all that other stuff. And, it's a cop movie. It's sometimes it can be over the top with the action, but it's enjoyable. So yeah, definitely go watch it. In my opinion, go support the theaters. Let's get more theater tickets selling out there. And this is one of those movies I believe so. I believe it. It deserves it. It deserves. Shout out to Martin. Shout out to Will. Shout out to everybody that was part of this movie. I believe they did a good job. They had a cameo in here he's Instagram famous. I'm not gonna spoil it because you like, oh wow, but I think he's Instagram or TikTok famous. He does. I almost spoiled it by saying what he does. I thought that was cool. They showed him for a second. But anyway, yes, definitely go see this movie in my opinion. Now, my rankings for all the Bad Boys together, because I don't even know if they're going to make any more. To be real, with this movie, they could or could not. And I was glad about that. They made the movie where they could have another story, but if they don't, it's fine. There's nothing hanging. Nothing left hanging in such a serious way where it's like, oh, it's over? What about this situation? No, I believe it ended where they could be done, or it ended to where they can do another storyline. So that's one thing I do love about it as well. But ranking it, I'll still have to say Bad Boys 2 is number one. Bad Boys 2 was out of this world, had me off my seat. That freeway scene with the Haitians and the house and the comedy, like it is still the best one. So I have to say the second one, then the first one. Because I was about to say the first, but no, the second one, then the first one, and then this one, Ride or Die, then Bad Boys for Life. I said it before too. Bad Boys for Life wasn't bad. It was very toned down compared to the other. Well, now this new one compared to the other three. Oh, another thing. One thing I also love about this movie was they don't hide the fact that these guys are older. And I like that. You know, they show their age. It's not like as you know. It actually reminds me of how they did it in Lethal Weapon 4. I don't know if y'all remember that, but when they was Danny Glover and Mel Gibson had a moment where they was like, "Dang, we're older." That's how they feel in this movie. Like Will and Martin, especially Will, was like, "Dang." You know, you could tell during certain situations. It didn't mess up the intensity of the movie, but I'm glad that they show that these guys are in their 50s. Can they still do stuff? Absolutely, but they're not Bad Boys 1 or 2. So anyway, I like that. But yes, if I had to rate it best out of 10, I would say 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. I give Bad Boys 2 a 10 out of 10. That is, to this day, still my favorite action movie of all time. Yes, I can watch that over and over. So, but at Bad Boys, I almost said for life, Ride or Die, 8 out of 10. Yeah, because how I would do it is, this one Ride or Die is 8 out of 10. Bad Boys for Life was 7 out of 10. Bad Boys 1 was a 9 out of 10. And then Bad Boys 2 was 10 out of 10. So anyway, if you saw it, let me know in the comments what you think about it. And yes, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. I will appreciate it. And yeah, thank y'all so much. I'll see you later.